everybody, Wall of Wiisdom here. It is Saturday night, Sunday morning, about 2 a.m. And actually, I've got my phone here. Sunday, December 4th, 2 8 a.m. And I am up getting things done. I mentioned earlier it was a really cold, really dreary, rainy, little bit of snow day. And I wanted to play pool, and I can't because I had all this stuff here. A lot of loose ends. I have sleeved and cataloged my entire Animal Crossing Amiibo card collection, minus the duplicates. I don't think I've got enough material to handle those, but opened up the final two Series 2 packs I had. I picked those up when I got the Dark Edition Wii U starter pack for Imaginators from my local GameStop. And in the most recent unboxing video, which was this lovely lady here, Solar Flare Aurora, I asked you if you wanted to see the creation crystals unboxed. I could probably wait and take a little more feedback, but I heard from Lodestar, and he was the only one that I know of at this point in time that kind of addressed that situation. He said his plans were to just get one, from each element, which is kind of what I would do. These were all sent out, aside from the ones from the starter pack, which I purchased. And I've used several of them. I've just never opened them. The cool thing with Skylanders, if you love the packaging, if you think they look amazing, you can leave it in the packaging, and it will still function, unlike Nintendo with their Amiibo. So you've got that going for you, but I want to clear this stuff off. I've got that Ultimate Starter Pack for Skylanders Battlecast that we unboxed, but didn't fully open. I want to get that thing showcased as well. I think I've got a pack or two from Cereal. But what I've decided to do of my own free will here, there's basically 3 crystals per element, right? 3 different sculpts per element. I don't plan to get them all, and even if I tried to, I'm not sure I could. In a perfect world where I had all the money in the world and I could spend it on these things, the best video I could do for you would be to unbox this crystal, grab the other 2 air element crystals that would already be unboxed, hold them in the palm of my hand, showcase the detail to you, put them on the portal, let you see them lit up, and then by you seeing the detail on each creation crystal, you could be like, okay, when I run to the store, this is the one of those 3 I prefer. If you're a hardcore fanatic of undead Skylanders or something, you can be like, okay, I'm going to get all 3, and I want to focus and try to get my extras as this one. But ideally, I think most people would fall in that category of Lodestar. I'm going to get one of each element. I'm good with that. And so if you're doing that and you've got 3 different options per element, it would be nice if you could go into the store and be like, ooh, I liked that one, but there was that crystal number 2 from the air element that was my favorite. And you could just sort through it and find it. That may not even be possible for a lot of you. Your only local options are probably going to be a Walmart, possibly a GameStop. If they don't have it on the shelf, you've got to go online and buy it. When you do that, whether it's Amazon, Toys R Us, GameStop, whoever it may be, they're just going to ship it to you. You cannot spec out, I want this particular sculpt, or give me the one, with the hatch on the top. Not an option. They're just going to send it to you. You might get what you want, you might not. You might buy 3 of each crystal, hoping to get a complete set, and you get the exact same crystal in each element 3 times. It's a total crapshoot. The only way to circumvent that is basically if you're buying from scalpers, and then instead of paying the $9.99 MSRP, it's going to be the guy or gal has gone out and they've picked up probably the hardest to find sculpts, and they're not going to charge you $10. They're going to charge you more than that. That's a waste of your money. Don't be stupid. Save it. So what I'm going to do, I've never actually unboxed a creation crystal from an individual pack. All these that you see, the Earth element that was from Griffin Park Adventure Pack, the Dark Crystal, Dark Starter Pack, Fire, from the Standard Starter Pack, Life from the Dark Starter Pack, and then Harambe, my nephew made, Undead, still in the box. The Sir Skellington I made, still in the box. So let's do it, man. Let's open one of these up. First thing first, the packaging on Imaginators products across the board, whether it's an adventure pack, starter pack, individual character, individual crystal, amazing. It is the best I have seen from any, actually, it's way better than a lot of just standalone toys. It's very, very visually impressive, and that even applies here to the lowly creation crystals. Now, if you're unfamiliar, this is basically a Skylander in a box. You've just got to create it. The catch is, of course, as you progress through the game, you unlock more parts. So you might have seen someone on YouTube, you might have like completed your creator app set on your phone, and you think, I'm going to make a quick shot banana. The catch is, of course, you got to go into the game, you got to get all the parts, so that's kind of your incentive to play through. The battle class on these, basically you come in, you buy, the element is locked to the crystal. And when they did this, sadly, they made the executive decision to lock the battle class as well. There was a lot of uproar about that. People told them it was a bad idea. They either got the message too late or didn't want to change it or thought they'd sell more. I don't know the logic on it. There are ways to reset them, primarily through use of SSA. A 3DS version works well. You can find that information online. But what I want to do here is open this guy and showcase it. So, Air Creation Crystal, this would set us back $9.99 if we were to find it online. Note the Air Element logo there in the back. Very cool. I also like the way that's orchestrated. If these get knocked off, if they get turned around, you can kind of see a side profile and tell what you got. Of course, stores, you would hope they would shelve them in a manner that's, hey, here's all your air crystals, here's your tech crystals, here's the dark crystals. It never happens. It's going to be a situation where they've got an air crystal here, a fire crystal behind it, the coveted dark crystal behind that. Tech is going to be 2 pegs up to the left, behind 6 water crystals. So by them putting the name on the side, you might think that's overkill. It will be beneficial when you're hunting for these, particularly when you're looking for your favorite sculpt. So you've got to appreciate the little details in that. Another thing, just it's so cool the way that they put the time. They could have just done sky blue here, but again, they've got the Air Element logo embedded behind it. A lot of people, if you were to just look at this, you would not even notice that. Again, I mean, just the fade, it's behind all this jargon, it's in the back. Very, very cool. I've got to appreciate that. So, Toys to Life, you put the crystal on the portal, you create your Skylander, you play as your Skylander, you can then print your Skylander. You can put it on a t-shirt, a card, whatever you want to do. We'll need the app for that, but hey, not that big of a deal. Infinite possibilities to create. They're not really lying there. There is a ton you can do. Even when you have unlocked all the parts, the different color schemes and custom settings you can apply, it really is pretty impressive what you can do in terms of creating a Skylander. So right here, the text, as you can see, create and play with your own Skylanders. You've got the fire element crystal there that you would have. You pick one of the 10 battle classes. This is a classic sort of, you know, is it sun-hardened? I think it's sun-hardened look that this guy's got. And you create him, and it's pretty cool. There you can kind of see the various light crystals. You've got air, life. Let me stick my head over here. Cannot really tell. Undead, dark lights, fire, magic, water, earth, and undead. So that's probably tech, the one that was silver and I couldn't see. But it's a very cool setup, I've got to say. If you note, if anyone cares about this, they can sit flat on a shelf, which is cool. They maintain a low profile because the J-hook tab is actually tucked. You're most likely going to find it hanging on a peg at Toys R Us in that manner. I actually set up a cool display in front of the wall of Skylanders, but it's covered up by this wall of creation crystals. So what we want to do, we want to release this tab. Again, keep in mind, I have not actually opened one of these, and again, just like with Solar Flare Aurora, I forgot there is tape here. That's how well it blends in. Plus, when there's all the detail, it is easy to miss that. So if you want to keep the box together, if you want to reseal that thing, make sure you cut the tape. One of my favorite things they did is the color coordinated packing. And what I mean by that is, see the inside of this box is blue. If we were to unbox this light creation crystal, it would have that yellow color, like we saw in Solar Flare Aurora's unboxing. So we open this, we are ready to slide it out, and there is important stuff down here, but first I want to showcase that. So cool, the time and effort they put into designing this packaging. $9.99, how do I feel about that? I think it's a fair price, but I think particularly given that the battle class gets locked, I feel like $5.99, $7.99 even, if you're leaning in favor of the producer. I feel like that would be a better price point for consumers, and in turn, I think they're more likely to sell a greater number of units. Case in point, people that might do one per element, you know, they're going to come in if they've got some ideas in their head, instead of being like taken back by it. They're going to come in and it's like, well, should I buy one at $9.99 or do I want to spend 15 bucks and get two? You know, one for 10, two for 15 if they were 7.50ish a piece. I think you're going to move more product that way. That's just my opinion. Similarly, in terms of if the battle class was not locked, and you can just freely reset that as well, without having to go through, you know, loops, if you will, I think they would still sell the same number, because people that really, really want to make an Air Element Knight, an Air Element Bowslinger, an Air Element Smasher, an Air Element Ninja, Brawler, Sentinel, etc., they're going to buy these. If you see some crazy, if you've got your one per crystal and you've made, say, an undead Brawler, like Sir Skellington, and you love it, and then you come in and you get a new set part and you're like, oh my gosh, I've got to make that vampire. If you truly love what you created on your crystal, you're going to save up the money. You know, you're either going to A, spend it, or B, save for it to get another undead crystal to make the vampire. Case in point with a werewolf. Person has the skeleton brawler, the vampire, what would they be? Ninja? I don't know. And then they come in and it's like, I've got to do this werewolf too. I truly believe that fans and people dedicated to the game, as you progress through it and unlock different parts and have crazy ideas pop up in your head based on your past experiences and imagination, they truly would be inclined to go out and get the extra crystals. Again, it's a deal where I've got Sir Skellington. If that was my only undead crystal, I'm not going to wipe it clean. I'm going to keep him. I've got a connection with the guy. I'm going to go get another undead crystal when funds allow, you know, type of thing. And that's where the lower price point, in my opinion, would come in handy. I said the same thing with traps. You know, traps were $9.99. You have to remember, once upon a time, Skylanders, they were a smaller scale. I mean, the Imaginators look amazing. I'm not necessarily knocking their price point of $14.99, but once upon a time, your core Skylanders were 10 bucks, okay? And we had core characters accompanying the guest stars, if you will, giants, swappers, trap masters, etc., for quite some time. And at that $10 mark, that's a sweet spot for the core Skylander, in my opinion. Putting a trap at $10 for a limited use villain, I wasn't a fan of that. And even though this technically is a Skylander, it's also not got the detail of an Aurora, you know, of a Series 2 Gilgrunt, of a Light Core Eruptor. And, you know, to me, $5.99 to $7.99 I think is just a better price point for these. I think in the end they're going to move more, they're going to turn a greater profit, people are going to buy them, people are going to be more forgiving of errors like locking the battle class. And like I said, when you go in and you start creating your Skylanders, you're not just going to wipe it clean every time. If you've got a like Skylander you created that's a sorcerer and you love it, you're not going to wipe it. You're going to go buy another crystal so you can make, you know, the quick shot or brawler that you want to create. So that's my thoughts on that. A lot of people have asked, but that just flips up right really easy. It's not connected to the crystal at all. They've got a nice low profile. Right here, standard stuff, they got the 45-degree bend. So, this is also held on two sides. Again, we've yet to unbox one of these, so this is our first time. I like to just put my thumb over samples like that, work the base, which came free very easily, and then just slide it out. They spend a lot of time, you can tell, cradling the crystal, making sure it's going to stay in place. Just glancing at the other packages here, it looks like they've got that same implementation there. This air crystal, though, the details, man, I've got to tell you, I had no clue the bottom end looks like this. It's almost like angel wings. It's just the base. It's the base of the crystal. But it looks like wings, does it not? It's almost like angel wings or something, bird wings, whatever you want to call it. If you didn't know, the front side, or one side, I guess it could go either way, that is Air Element logo. That's fixed. That's pre-applied. The back side here is blank, and you think, oh, well, you know, that's... why didn't they put air there? Well, the intent is, let me drop that down real quick. I told you we were going to need something else out of here. It's not the instruction deal. No, no, no. It's this. Oh, that looks so cool in that color scheme. This little sticker sheet here, say that I wanted to make, I can't wait for Wildstorm. I've got to make an air element knight. I would come in, I would grab the sword, and opposite of the air element logo, I would place the knight symbol here. If you're a huge air element person and you also make an air ninja, smasher, and sentinel, and you're like, wait, you know, I've got multiple, there's only 3 sculpts, right? So if you go hardcore, air elements your deal, you make all 10 battle classes. And you're like, I've got duplicates here. Is this sculpt here? I know it's either going to be, you know, my knight, my sorcerer, or my ninja. You flip it around, you got your sticker, you make do with it. Now, other detail on this one, you can see the base here. This looks so good. It's kind of like a 90s faded denim, like grunge scene color scheme of a light blue, and I love it. The black and the blue on the crystal itself, very cool aesthetic. The top lid, man, I like that design. It's sort of just like, it's almost like a star shape, and then you've sort of got like a light burst coming off the side. You can see the same star shape there. Very hard to accurately describe this due to everyone's differences and opinions. You've got little peaks and pinnacles here, you know, spike here, spike on the corners. It's uniform, it's consistent, the color scheme is amazing. The detail on this is actually impressive too. I like it. Now, what a lot of people do, of course, if you say that you just wanted to make 3 air element bow slingers. Air elements, your favorite bow slingers, your favorite battle class, and you had 3 really killer ideas based on the parts you've got. What would you do? Okay, you've got bow slinger over here. You know, each crystal came with that. They've given you this label here, and you could write, you know, like, okay, this is Fling Kong, you know, this is Jetvac, this is so-and-so. And so-and-so, if you spelled it S-E-W, S-E-W, that would actually be a fairly good, almost shortcut-like, you know, the Undead Trapmaster. That would actually be a good name for a Skylander, in my opinion. But they've got that. The thing is, that sticker is pretty large. They've given you ample space. It's not really going to fit on the bottom. That leaves you with the option of sort of like wrapping the crystal or sticking it across the top. If you do so, not having a flush surface, it's going to impact the adhesive, and over time, it's probably going to pop off and wind up on your carpet. Cat'll run away with it, it'll get on a dog's fur, something like that. So really the only good way of adhering that, in my opinion, is to wrap the crystal. It would make your life easier. It will be much easier for you to track down your kids' created Skylander they're looking for without having to put, you know, 10, 20, 40 crystals on the Portal of Power. I can't bring myself to do it. I really can't. I mean, I could get in a boat where I've got a series of undead Skylanders. Like I mentioned, Sir Skellington's not going anywhere. I've got my nephew's Harambe. I want to make a werewolf. I want to make the vampire. I don't want to, like, write, you know, Sir Skellington and then stick it on here, okay? So in my opinion, while this is cool, I'm probably going to keep these intact and just have the crystals, and it'll be a crapshoot, and I'll try to structure them in a way that I'll know how they're stored and which character is which or something. But it just looks too good, in my opinion, to put the name tag on it. Don't know if anyone agrees or disagrees with me there, but simplistic, yes. Best solution, yes, but I just can't do it to the crystal because I think it looks too good. If I ever get a crystal that I think is, you know, aesthetically not pleasing, I may slap a name tag on it. But I don't want to do it here. So that said, this is our Air Element Creation Crystal. It looks amazing. Again, there is no name. I thought after Trap Team, when people were like, I want that, you know, fire crystal that has the hands coming off of the head on 4 sides. There was no name, right? And so I thought they would have come in and been like, okay, this is the, you know, angel column, and this is the, you know, broccoli stalk or something. They didn't do it. It's just we've got 3 different sculpts, which is great. You know, it's better than just every air crystal looking just like this one. But it also complicates it. It keeps you from ordering it, from describing it. I mean, good luck calling up a GameStop employee and being like, hey, do you have that crystal that's kind of got like that star thing on the front of it that's air element? You're going to have to go in person. You know, it's that type of a thing. If they would have just said, you know, like, angel pillar. You could call in and you could say, hey, you got the angel pillar, and they'd say no, and you're like, crud, gonna have to order it. And you'd go on Amazon and you type in air crystal and you select, just like you would select legendary tri-tip or standard tri-tip, candy coated chopscotch or non-candy coated. You would select angel pillar air crystal and you would get it. But they didn't do that, so it's bittersweet. If they ever have a product like this again, I appreciate the variety, but please, for the sake of collectors and consumers, particularly parents, like a kid could say, Mom, I want that air crystal that looks like this. And you can't go in, and describe that. You're going to have to physically look yourself. It would be so much easier if it was just named. If you're concerned about naming it, in the off season of Skylanders, release what you're doing and say, hey, we want the fans to pick the name, and go that route. Because in the end, it benefits you, it benefits us, it benefits everyone. It's mutually beneficial. That said, this is the Air Creation Crystal. It's our first crystal we've unboxed. And I think I'm debating if I should stop here. I didn't really think this would take this long, but we've rambled through it a bit. Maybe we will just do a smorgasbord of crystals. So I think I'm going to actually unbox all of these. Hopefully you didn't want to see them done individually. And they're all basically going to be just like what you saw here. But we're going to unbox them, and then we're just going to showcase them. I might not even talk, because that'll save us all some time. I don't know. This is that's why I asked for your feedback on this. I've asked for a while. I haven't heard anything. When you don't tell me what you want, you're going to get stuck with what I do. So you have been warned. Learn the lesson and proceed forward, my friends. That said, I'm going to turn the camera off, figure out what I'm doing with this, and we will be back. So stay tuned. But this crystal itself, the first one we chose to unbox together, primarily because I go alphabetical, I really do love it. It looks amazing. So bravo, hats off to whoever came up with the design on this one. Very impressed. That said, let's move on and see what we come up with. Alright, I came up with something. I hope you like it, because it's what I'm gonna do. So here we go. Alright, so hopefully that works for you. That is everything I've got. That is every creation crystal I've got for you. The fire note, we just had the 2 extras. As you can see, I tried from time to time that would allow to kind of showcase the reuse sculpts, if you will. So for example, you've got the earth hatch, you've got the water hatch, you've kind of got that cool magic flower, which that's detail you cannot see in the packaging. I thought that was pretty sweet. You've got it for magic, you've got it for undead. Seems like it would have been a good life trap. We saw the same earth trap here with the rounded piece as we did with the water element here, which can you even see that? It's here. I guess you couldn't. We've got the undead design here that you can see in life. Right now, this strange like spiky ball one from the life element, that's the only one I've got in that design. And then the air crystal is unique. We see this one replicated light and undead. But like I said, if money was no object, I would try to get all of the sculpts together in one place and showcase them to you. That's a little bit difficult for me to do. I only have the 1 dark from the starter pack, 1 tech that they sent out to me, and then I think we've got the full set of life and undead, so that's kind of cool. But that said, if I do acquire more creation crystals, I will make sure to showcase those to you. Should get one in the Boom Bloom Adventure Pack, and I'll try to pick some up if I can ever catch them on sale, depending on what parts we unlock. But hopefully this worked out well for you and kind of showcased them for you. It probably saved a little time versus me rambling on about each one for 2 minutes or so about the detail in them. If you want to see something, if you like what you see, pause the video. Hopefully that works for you. Again, if you've got ideas about this stuff, let me know in the comment section. I did ask for your feedback. I got very little of it, so I did this, and I hope you don't hate it. It's wallofwiisdom.com, skylanderclub.com. Make sure you check out the forum if you like this sort of a thing. If you like the detailed unboxings of Skylanders research, go ahead and sign up on the forum. I'd love to have you join us. You can follow me on Twitch, follow me on Beam, like me on Facebook, circle me on Google+, whichever you prefer. As always, thanks so much for watching, and until next time, I will catch you back here for more Skylanders Imaginators unboxings.